Greetings, Intertubes. Greetings, Jake. Welcome to Geeks in Space. I am Rob, Commander Taco Maldo. This is episode 386, and here today I have three of the finest gentlemen you will ever meet. Gentlemen, would you like to say your names?
My name is Chris DeBona. I am a gentleman, indeed. I am amongst gentlemen. Gentlemen.
I'm Nathan Ostendorp. I am a gentleman, but not a scholar.
You got your masters.
I'm Rob Roseboom. I'm just a dude.
You're just a dude in the world.
You know, speaking of gentlemen, there's a new Kingsman trailer out.
Indeed, it's a prequel.
Well, yeah, which is
Kind of has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of destroyed it, But.
Yeah. I hope they have a better villain this time around.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't like who was the gal that was the second villain?
Red hair.
Red hair, yeah. She was good, but like that whole when she went into full-blown supervillain mode, it was weird.
It was. She had some great stuff though. Like actually I liked the what's the name of the guy with the robot arm and stuff, He had a great sort of vicious streak that I was kind of into.
They also had all that meat grinder stuff.
The whole campy restaurant stuff kind of reminded me of kind of the stuff I'm writing now.
A little too real.
Yeah.
So did anybody see Joker this weekend?
I did.
How was it?
There have been all these articles about the people unsettling people cheering during the murder scenes, but I kind of wanted to cheer during the murder scenes. Because that was when he actually felt like Joker and not just some really, really sad, unhappy dude. So yeah, it was slow. There was a lot of weird Joker Tai Chi that went on.
I heard he was dancing a lot.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of Joker Tai Chi. But
Joji.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I'm not worried about it glorifying villains. Yeah.
You should call it Joga because it's yoga. Joker.
I like it.
Joga. Ooh.
Oh, that's the word for I think run in Spanish.
I also enjoyed it. I would say that the actual connections to the Batman and the DCU is so almost superfluous.
Yeah.
Like there was 15 minutes in before I think they mentioned like either the word Gotham or like a Wayne. And there was I was 15 minutes in and I'm like, when are they going to try to connect? They don't have to connect it at all if they don't really want to.
So did they ever, I guess they brought in Thomas Wayne, but he was like a Bill O'Reilly media figure. Explain.
No,
I'm never going to watch this movie. I have to tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well, you should. You should. I mean,
watch it on a plane.
Yeah.
It's a plane movie. It's very much an actor movie. He's doing a thing. He's acting his thing. If his thing annoys you, you're going to want to turn it off. It could definitely do with like a good 10 minutes of let's cut out all of the weird yoga.
Cut out the Joker yoga. Add more murders. That's how I would fix that movie.
More murder. When in doubt.
I
wonder if it's going to be like the hype prior to release was that this was just an Oscar thing. Although I can't really imagine them taking seriously the role as an Oscar thing because then you have like two Jokers getting nominated in like 10 years. So then it's like, how back in the day it used to be like, well, okay, I want an Oscar. So I'm going to star in a World War II movie where I rescue the Jews from the Holocaust in some way. And like, there's like 20 movies like that for like a decade there. It's like every actor trying to win their Oscar. And it could be the Joker. So we could just have like a new Joker movie like every year and a half where some actor tries. And I'd like that better.
So I would like to call back to an earlier episode where we were talking about Nick Cage briefly, because during that string of Nazis and or British people winning Oscars, for the roles are Nazi in English, not necessarily the actors. Nick Cage did something called Captain Corelli's Mandolin, which I guess was about a Nazi officer hanging around Italy or something. And it's just like, it's so classic Nick Cage he's like, here, let me measure the room. I'm going to go full Nazi or whatever. And it's just like, okay, that happened. So
I'm all in on the Nick Cage.
Hardest working man in Hollywood. So
I'm actually looking at my list, and like the list right now is just tons of trailers. Lost in Space 2. Did anybody else watch Lost
very
in Space 1?
exciting. Very exciting.
I am too. I am too. I really enjoyed the first one, but I felt like Lost in Space 1 never figured out what it was trying to do. Because when the kids and everybody were like at their charismatic best, the show really worked well. And when the show was being like an interesting science fiction show, it worked really, really well. But then there was other stuff that just didn't click right. And a lot of it was like the action-y sequences and stuff. Those didn't feel as good.
They could have done a lot better on the action. But also, I have to say, as much as I adore Parker Posey, I have no idea what the hell she's doing.
Right?
It makes no sense. Literally, it makes no sense. She's just like vamping it up and sucking in all the air from the room. And it's like, she's a great actor.
Parker Posey is one of my all-time favorites. She's on the list like Sam Rockwell. If Parker Posey is in a movie or Sam Rockwell is in a movie, I'm just going to probably watch that thing because I like them. Yeah.
But she's
I really enjoyed the first season, and I liked the, I guess, fresh take on the robot. Although that's not necessarily a new idea, but it was a new idea for Lost in Space. So I like the way they handled it. Yep.
Yeah, and it was physically a cool robot too. Let's be real,
Yeah.
But no, Parker Posey in Blade. Do you remember this? In Blade 2 or 3 or 14 or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, it's like, what are you doing here? It's like I know we all got to make rent. I get it, but I think she's going.
You can't be in Best in Show every week.
Yeah, right. Or the one where she was the gal obsessed with the Kennedy assassination. House of Leaves.
Also, she was in the Brandon Routh era Superman, right? She was. Yeah, she was like the Miss Tessmacher or Tessmacher. Was that her?
Sure, okay. Huh. That's funny. Yeah. She got to pay rent. Santa Monica ain't cheap.
Indeed.
And I the blonde Kate Boswell, who is so plain. I mean, not plain. She's not ugly. I mean, everything. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's just her acting is such that it's like the whole film, like, disappears. Like she walks through it. She's like the bear in that basketball game. It's like
you just don't see her.
Anyway.
Are you talking about the mom from Lost in Space?
No. I've gone completely off Lost in Space.
All right. See, the mom from Lost in Space
Superman. The woman playing Lois Lane was Kate Boswell, right? But
I only vaguely remember Kevin.
Yeah.
I only vaguely remember Kevin Spacey playing Gene Hackman.
It was terrible.
Right?
So bad.
They're actually doing for the CW Superman Arrowverse crossover event. Bandon Ruth is going to be apparently playing Superman again on an episode of the crossover event.
Because he's Adam or whatever,
He's the Atom. But they've got they've got Brandon Routh is going to play his Superman, and Tom Welling is going to come back and play the Smallville era Superman.
Wow!
Because they're going to do Crisis on Infinite Earths.
That's great.
Nice.
I'm so for this. And they're going to collapse Supergirl into their Earth or something.
I assume that's what they're going to do. And I guess the new Batwoman is premiering like in the next week or two.
They had a preview for
it's
that.
already out.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
I watched it already.
Is it good?
What's the word?
It was okay. Probably too early to tell.
Yeah. Although that show had the advantage of having a lot of the introductory stuff being done last season in the crossover event.
Yeah.
They still do a lot of, this is how I'm connected to Bruce Wayne. This is how I find the Batcave. This is how I get my outfit,
My parents are dead.
Yeah. It's all that over again. So
yeah, that's a lot.
Is everyone's parents dead?
Jason Todd's parents are dead in the current season of Titans.
It's like required.
I mean, Yeah,
Did
Nightwing.
anyone watch the second season of The Tick on Amazon? I haven't seen it yet.
I have.
How was it? Because the first season was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I loved the first season, and if you like the first season, you'll like the second season.
Say no more.
It's more of the same.
I'll be watching that on the plane. So.
Which show?
The Tick, the live action Tick.
Yeah.
They rebooted it. It's actually pretty good.
I want it to be
I
better,
liked
but
it.
it's solid.
And it's Lee Pace,
I mean-
right? Ronan the Accuser, you know?
The Walking Dead premiered like this weekend too, and I don't know why I'm still watching that.
It's still going. I'm like 2 seasons behind. I don't know that I care. It's hard to Carl. Now he's dead.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
I read the comic books up through the Whisperer stuff, and I only watched the show just past when they defeated Negan, and I haven't watched any of the last 2 seasons. It's enough already.
Yeah. They beat that dead horse.
And I admit the actor they picked for the governor was fantastic, but they really didn't do the governor storyline justice. And it's like,
Right.
So, at least it wasn't on a damn farm.
They're
supposed to do a sort of prequel focusing on Negan, though, like showing you his backstory and all that stuff. So,
what I had heard was that there was 2 spinoffs. They were going to take Carol and who's the biker guy?
Rita.
Supposedly that they were maybe getting a spinoff.
Yeah.
They very much set that up in this episode. Like they had a whole bunch of the 2 of them like reconnecting or whatever. I was like, all right, you guys could have a spinoff. Maybe I'd watch it, but I kind of doubt it.
I don't know. I kind of petered out on Fear the Walking Dead too. I'm like, it's like, look, it's The Walking Dead. It's slightly easier to film because it's in Los Angeles. It's like,
it'd be like Green Acres, but with zombies instead of a little pig.
Rick and Morty has a new trailer out.
I know. Can't wait.
When is that landing?
Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, November. I'm all in, but the trailer, it was fun to see the trailer just because now you'll know some of the characters. They brought back like Mr. Poopy Butthole and Mr. Meeseeks both appear in the trailer, so they're gonna hang episodes on those characters, which all right, fine. That show lives or dies based on just weird dialogue and bizarre science fiction effects. They don't need to bring back recurring characters to make that work. The Picard trailer. There's a longer Picard trailer out with a whole bunch of.
Yeah, he has a dog named Number One, and Number One does Number Two on the floor, and he's an old man, so he's upset.
He's a grouchy man.
I have to say, I'm gonna watch the hell out of this thing, of course.
Of course.
I already ordered the box of wine. The 6.
Of course you did.
They're expensive. They're like $60 a bottle. They better be good. But it's like. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but I have to tell you, he kind of looks really old. Like, it's geriatric Star Trek, and I'm like, dude, it's okay to retire. It's okay to take old man roles. It's like you being an action hero. It's not gonna be easy on your body.
They had him sword fighting.
They had him sword fighting.
I feel that way, especially about Clint Eastwood now. When I see him in things, I'm like, oh, Clint.
There's a chair, and that chair is empty, like America. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that old people can't be active or nice or work. I'm just saying it's not
or alive.
You're
not, saying that we should just murder the elderly.
Oh my God! No.
Death panels.
No.
Death panels.
Death panels. I'm not saying that we should.
Obama!
But you're not saying it.
Right. It's the subtext.
I'm an old person. I think technically I'm like 48. So. Yeah, and there was a Star Trek Discovery trailer, which I have to tell you, Star Trek Discovery is still like, I always start like, but I love it by the end of the season. Just love it, and I know it's not typical Star Trek, but it's good, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, even though some of the characters annoy the crap out of me, but
there's usually like one thing that really bugs me about each season, but all in all, I think it's pretty good. So.
But then
I
you
saw
get
a good montage for Discovery on Red Letter Media, which is actually worth watching. I should try to dig it up. But it's the little red-haired science girl on the show, and they do the thing which every Star Trek show does, where they spew out a bunch of techno babble, and then at the last thing is that nerd girl will say something like calculus, and then everybody cheers, and but that happens like 5 times. Like they'll have they'll go science, and that somehow made all their technobabble okay. Let's see. Where to hide for the apocalypse?
Daybreak, another trailer.
No, this is for Rob. Rob shared this one.
Yeah, these people wrote a paper about where the best place would be after a global pandemic and stuff like that. Looking at to rebuild civilization and keep the new civilization safe. So unfortunately, Chris, Hawaii didn't make the list.
Well, that's Fiji, only because they're a bunch of closed-minded jerkbags.
Yeah, Fiji made 13, so that's kind of close.
Yeah, where's New Zealand?
New Zealand was number 2. Australia and New Zealand ranked 1 and 2.
Australia was number 1. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Seems like Australia has a lot of surface area for like zombie hordes, so I don't know that I'd like that.
Yeah, but they get cooked, man. It is so damn hot in the interior. You know, they would eat all the rabbits. You know,
and it had like the perfect ratio of land to people. There's plenty of area to grow, plenty of area to go to avoid any potential fallout or disease from big cities, stuff like that. Still lots of smart people. Access to...
Have they been to Australia, guys? I mean, it's a tricky place to live when you get away from the coast. And even like the west coast of Australia is pretty unfriendly without massive mechanization.
But is it unfriendly because we haven't spent any time there as humanity, or is it unfriendly because it's just an unforgiving wasteland?
The latter. We had to invest humanity, had to invest an incredible amount of resources to make Perth work, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. Nate, you played with Sonic Pi.
Sonic Pi is cool. It's very similar to processing or the Arduino base for making synth music from code. And that's something that like I've dinked around with a little bit, but it's nice to see it in like a package together. My eldest son played with it a lot more than I did, but it's pretty neat. I enjoyed it.
I watched some YouTube of the guy working it. It doesn't seem like a very good performance tool.
I don't think it's. I'm still skeptical of live coding as something. I wouldn't go to an algo rave. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
But in terms of just something to play around with and make songs on, it's similar to the. It has the same place in my heart that the MC303 did.
Oh, I love the MC303. Do you still have that? I wonder where that ended up.
No, I gave both. I had 2 of them, and I gave both of them away.
That's probably a collector's item now on eBay.
Potter still has one.
You gotta get an MC505 or get an 808. Oh, man, that'd be fun. So there's a thing going on with the GNU project right now, but there was a statement came out, and a bunch of people signed, a bunch of GNU folks signed it, and the statement was pretty reasonable, without like going into detail about Stallman. They basically are saying, yeah, he's gross and weird, and he's hurting us more, and he's helping us. So whatever you think about what he's doing or the current incident, let's just move on.
So it's weird because he stepped down from the FSF. He stepped down from the GNU project. Did he step back into the GNU project?
So I guess the thing was that he never actually claims that he stepped down from the GNU project, and there was some word that he was hacked. There was some word. No, he stepped down from the Free Software Foundation
and MIT.
But he stated that he was going to be on the GNU project, but then somebody apparently hacked the GNU project or hacked whatever that was, put up a message saying he was resigning. Then he came back, said no, he's not, and now a bunch of people are like, no, you should be done now.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a mess. we pulled out of the FSF 5 years ago when he was calling disabled kids pets, and I was like, you know what, I just can't do it anymore, And people are like, but it's the Free Software Foundation. I'm like, yeah, okay, you fund it. I'm out, But yeah, it's.
That's why, if people ask me for a pen, I tell them to donate to the EFF and not to the FSF.
Yeah. I was thinking, what we should do? We should each make a spaceship as part of, and redo the beginning of the Geeks in Space video cast with each.
Oh, like do an animation?
Yeah, sort of like MST3K it up. But you could do one on your wood lathe,
A lathe spaceship?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
Discovery, the next section of Discovery.
I'll get right on that. Monty Python is 50.
Legos or something.
Yeah.
Monty Python turned 50 years old, man.
That's old.
That's old. Really.
Wait, what did you say?
Monty Python. They're 50 years old now. The airing
Yeah,
of
some of them are way more.
Some of them are dead.
Yes. Did you know? One of them, Graham, the director, Terry Gilliam, was the editor of the humor magazine at Occidental College in Los Angeles. I thought they were all British.
No, Terry Jones is American too, right?
He's American. Yep.
American. So yeah, but I got a picture and I'll send it to the channel of his work and the comic, and it's basically like comic books and stuff. It's really
so
fun.
Jake, I know you're in the Discord channel right now. Chris is going to totally paste that into the
I'm
Discord
there right now.
for you,
It's
Jake.
amazing.
I was thinking that we can call instead of Jakesters, what if it's the Jakesketeers?
Nope.
No,
Not gonna
that'd be great.
No, so I was there. My kid goes there for school, and so it's also where they filmed a bunch of Real Genius. So I went to all the places where they filmed Real Genius. It was very exciting.
You popped your giant popcorn.
No, that's over in the hills. So
Checked out Laszlo's closet.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's actually a Pomona. Sorry,
Oh.
I know I'm not helping here, but
No, you are not. Rob, you shared a story about, or did I share the story with worms that we found in Mono Lake with 3 genders?
I did not share that, but I almost did. So there you go.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out there's a good portion of them that are just hermaphroditic. But that's pretty common in a lot of those types of animals. Like slugs tend to be hermaphroditic and snails. I thought most flatworms were, to be honest with you, but evidently not. Or maybe it was just a very slow day when it came to biology.
what's the name of the main channel in Discord?
General.
This is General. The problem is I have 4 generals.
This one says it's in text channels. So that's how you know.
You're not helpful, Rob.
I'm not helpful at all, but I only have, 2 Discord channels.
I have a connection problem. I'll do it later.
All right, you do that. Sorry, Jake. You're just going to have to hang on until later.
Oh.
That was all that I had on my list. Does anybody else have anything fun from their agenda?
Did we mention the Nobel Prize for exoplanets?
Fire, man. Take it.
Nobel Prize 2019 went to 3 physicists, 2 in I think Sweden or something, and 1 American dude for their methods for discovering exoplanets and the thousands of exoplanets they found. Using the gravitational wobble of planets and suns to detect them. So detected literally thousands of them. And it was funny because the physics community was like, yo, there's no way. This is not a fundamental discovery. This isn't moving science. But I guess the Nobel Prize committee is like, no, it's pretty cool.
You know what I realize as you say that?
Discover Planet Dog. So
as you say that, I realize that this ties back into Lost in Space 2. It ties back maybe into Rick and Morty, but most importantly, it ties back into apocalypse survival locations.
Right? We have to go all over the planet. Although the likelihood of us making a machine that can make it to any exoplanet is somewhere near 0.
We're going to need a Rick and Morty.
Yeah. I don't know. Better make this one work. That's all I got to say.
All right. We're at the mark, boys. I'm going to throw up the slide and say our goodbyes.
Goodbye, Slide.
Farewell, audience.
Bye, Jake.
See ya.
All right, folks. This was episode 386 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda. Thanks for listening. Smash that subscribe button. Pay on our Patreon. Nate needs braces. Rob needs a new kidney.
At least one.
Chris needs very fancy hats.
I could use a fedora. No, it's not me.
All right.